Hello, my dear, from wherever you're currently watching from. Same place, different time. And today I wanted to talk about using one's own discernment after a disappointment. You know, in German, we have a really beautiful word for being disappointed. It's actually kind of a wordplay. And if I would translate it in English, in a very verbally translated, it would mean something like de-illusion. So basically saying that the illusion has stopped. And if we look at being disappointed from that angle, we can learn or come to the conclusion that something hasn't been built on fertile ground, basically. So we have had some kind of illusion going on in our minds, in our hearts, that wasn't sustainable. And so there was a point in time when we then got disappointed, which basically means that we have made the experience that the illusion was finished. And we are now being confronted with the harsh and in so many times even painful reality. And I need to smile about it because on one side, there's this harsh confrontation. But on the other side, it is like a veil lifting out of your eyes and you are seeing clearly now. And yeah, that can be painful. But at the same time, it's kind of a revelation. It's something beautiful happening. And so the way to deal with disappointments in our lives can show us at which stage we have started to build an illusion around a certain person, our environment, and where we have built an unsteady foundation. So I believe that this topic comes with the other big word, responsibility. So we can ask ourselves, where in that process have I maybe not taken the responsibility that I needed to take beforehand? And I get that in some cases, disappointment can come very rapidly. And it can feel very quick. So much so that we might not be in a position prior to that to ensure a steady foundation. Because after all, we are human in the end, right? So it happens to all of us. And at the same time, if we take responsibility during that process, we can maybe even then even in the pain, detect the situations and the illusions that we have told ourselves that might have led to that disappointment. So I believe that it's not so much about the other person or about the environment, but more so about taking responsibility for our own needs and wishes and making sure, because we're taking that responsibility um, we're taking that very seriously. And therefore, we are making sure that we protect and we nourish ourselves so much so that the disappointments will get less and the lessons learned will get more. And I believe that by doing so, we will get better in not taking things so personally. Because we now understand how to ensure that we don't build upon illusion, but more so, we concentrate on building a steady foundation to ensure that if a disappointment happens, it can be something we can learn from, and not something that kind of weighs us down. And so, as with everything, I believe it is a process. And if you're watching this video right now and maybe having experienced a disappointment, I believe also that it can be really helpful to get that feeling out of your system by doing sports, by writing down the things or the thoughts that you're currently feeling. But I think that in the first step, it is not about confronting the environment or the other person, but more so about, first of all, getting it out of your system. And in the second step, if you then decide to go back to the interaction, having a clear understanding of where that illusion might have resulted out of or out from, and ensuring that going further, there's a solid foundation. There are healthy boundaries set in place, and a clear understanding for each of the parties involved. And I do believe that that process can be also a very connecting one. But it is not about the other party to fix that disappointment, but more so an invitation for you to grow and learn from it so that you can take the responsibility for your own needs and wishes. I appreciate you, and I'll see you in the next one.